Bashmaya Shivamomani So Mumaya. Alright, it is nap time. And we have a tired 2-year-old who needs to go down for a nap. We have a distribution for how long that nap is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a 2-hour nap. There is a standard deviation. It's 1.4, not 1.96. Why? Because this guy isn't squared. We could rewrite him like this, since the 1.4 squared is the 1.96 we had there before. Now, up till now, we've said, here's a nap time. Tell me probabilities for it. Let's do it in reverse. I'll tell you probabilities. I want you to tell me the nap time. All right, 95th percentile. This is a vocabulary term. Percentile means from all the way to the left up, I want 95% of my area. So something like this, if this is 95%, you can kind of eyeball what our answer should be. It's going to be 3.4, maybe another one, so 4.5, somewhere between 4 and 5 hours of sleep, which sounds like a great idea on a summer afternoon that is way too warm. How am I going to find this? Before we plugged in our number, we got a z-score, and we put that into the applet. Now we're working backwards. I'm going to start by going to the applet, and I want 95% of my probability. There's an area of 95%. The z-score would be 1.645. So if I gave you an x value, and that gave you a z-score of 1.645, then you would hit the 95th percentile. So for my z equation, 1.645, that's what I need the z to equal. What I don't know is the x value. I do know that I would take that minus 2 divided by 1.4. And now we're going to solve for x, which is something you're going to do a lot in this class. You might as well get used to it now. The first step is to move that 1.4 to the other side. 1.645 times 1.4 equals x minus 2. If I'm trying to get x alone, my next step would be to take 2 to the other side, so that I have 2 plus 1.645 times the 1.4. That's how I get my x. This equation right here actually makes sense. We're going to start at 2, which is our mean, and then I'm going to move this many standard errors. I'm going to move 1.4, and I'm going to do it 1.5 times, and that'll land us right where we were. So if I solve this, my x value is 4.303. I knew it was somewhere between 4 and 5. Turns out it was a lot closer to 4 than I thought. I think I was eyeballing this as being about 2 standard deviations, and it wasn't quite that far out. But what's the 95th percentile for naps? It's 4.303. Academia and the University of Wyoming uses the percentile vocabulary a lot to talk about what kind of score you need out of everybody else's score in order to get into certain programs or scholarships or things like that. Next question. Let's ask, what's the shortest 1% of naps? Well, I can draw that. It's 1%, which is a tiny amount of area right here. So if I start at 2 and I go down, actually I did not check how realistic this is. We might go negative. We need to fix that. I've decided we're not going to fix it, because if you've ever had a 2-year-old and try to put them down for a nap, negative nap times totally make sense. So now I want the 0.01 side, and of course it's negative because we're going to be below the mean. It's a negative 2.326. So putting that as my z-score, x is what I don't know. I'm hoping it's positive because there's something called realism, which we like to stay in. 2 is our mean, 1.4 as our standard deviation. Let's solve this. I'm going to get 2 minus the 2.326 times the 1.4 equals x. I skipped some steps there. If you're confused, go back in the video a little bit and see how those steps work out. But I know this is going to be the equation because I start at 2 and I go down this many standard deviations. And that gives me my x. When I solve this out, I actually get a negative 1.25, which is what I was worried about. Some of you are saying that's unrealistic. Some of you have 2-year-olds and you're like, no, I totally get negative nap time. I know exactly what's going on there. But the math doesn't really care about where 0 is or what's realistic. Let's do the last question. If I want to know where the longest 2% are, then I'm trying to go up here so that I get an area of 2%. which looks like, see, I can almost eyeball it. But if I want to get it exact, I'm going to go 0.02 right there. There's my z-score. That's our z-score. We solve for x the same way we did all the others, and that gives us a value of 4.8756. So if you were really hoping that your 2-year-old would sleep for 5 hours, that's going to be very, very rare. You've got to be super, super lucky for that to happen. Now, the most important thing that you must remember when you do this is And now for our next data set, we're going to ask the questions, how many times did you yawn while watching this video?